All right, welcome back. This is Jeremy Johnson again with Journey Home Realty here with part two of the May Market Monthly Update. And this one I left off, I was telling you, is going to be Gen Z. So those of you who don't know, Gen Z is anybody born between 1997 and 2012, so 25 and under. And the question really is am I going to be able to afford a home? So we're going to get after this episode and show you why that thought process is. And that absolutely Gen Z is the second largest purchasers in the market. And we've experienced that. We have a lot of individuals, younger airmen, at 23, 24, 25 years old, absolutely buying homes, and what you got to do and kind of some tips on how to get there in the volatile market that we're in today. So next slide here shows you, like I said a minute ago, that Gen Zs are the second largest population in America, just by a hair over the baby boomers, but almost 21% are Gen Zs that are 25 and younger. So it's a big population out there for us. And then this next slide here, the annual monthly payment, why anybody would ask, not even just Gen Zs, but anybody would ask, can I afford a house in this market? You can see just over from 2019 until today that with the interest rates and the house prices are where they're at, mortgage rates have doubled, or monthly mortgage payments have doubled from on the average of $1,000 to just a tick above $2,000. So it absolutely is a real question on, can I afford? So this next slide here that Chase put out is says the path of Gen Z home ownership may have its own share of challenges, but that's not stopping Gen Zs, nicknamed Zoomers, from buying homes. In fact, some Gen Z real estate trends are pointing in an optimistic direction. According to a recent study from a major real estate brokerage, about 30% of 25-year-olds own their own homes in 2022, 2.3% ahead of both millennials and Gen X at the same age. So kind of going back to the point I was telling you earlier is, Gen Zs and the younger generations, me and Shanon always say, man, I wish I would have had the wherewithal or the thought process to do some of these tips that we're going to give you in a little bit, save and being open-minded to purchase sooner. I was 26 years old before I bought my first house. So this topic here in this next slide is about, tips for Gen Zs to buy homes. But it's really tips for anybody. I don't care what stage of life you're in, but the topic really is on Gen Zs here we're talking about. And they give you four quick tips here. Always link in with a financial advisor, a good lender, and then if you think you want to buy, you're in that position to purchase a home, once you've done all the research and everything, find a qualified, good realtor that's willing to educate you. I always tell everybody, spent 24 years in the military, and it takes a triad, as I call it. You got to have a good lender willing to educate you on all the things that are out there, a real estate agent that is willing to educate you versus just sell you a property, and a good closing company. That's the triad. That's the three individuals to get you through the whole transaction. So, but here's some quick home buying tips. Up your financial literacy. So it says, while most people could benefit from a little extra financial know-how, first-time homebuyers and young people earning their first paychecks may want to hunker down and figure out the money situations. So it's never too young to start saving, which is the next tip. Next tip, you got to start putting money away for any kind of a down payment or anything that happens. But really, the younger you start, and we're teaching all three of our teenage boys the importance of saving, paying yourself first, after you tithe, of course, but paying yourself first and making sure that you have a nest egg to help you do the things that you want to do, and you're not living paycheck to paycheck. Keep an open mind is another tip, especially if you're a first-time home buyer, is, be open-minded. I don't have to have this big old mansion, a new starter home, a first-time home. I'm not saying live in an unsafe area, but maybe in a little bit less desirable area than I initially wanted to. A 3-bedroom versus a 4-bedroom, or a 2-bedroom versus a 3-bedroom. I'm just starting out and I don't have any kids. So be open-minded. Tune in with a good real estate agent, again, that's willing to be open-minded with you and not chasing the highest value, but what fits for your family in the season that you're in. I think that's most important. And then it says, do your research. I warn there, and only from the standpoint, I'm not just saying this because of the real estate agent, but do your research. Absolutely find out down payment, first-time homeowner funds, grants, things like that. But Google would send you down a just a black hole of incorrect information. So do your research and kind of understand what you're talking about, and then plug in with the experts, and they can guide you where you need to be. So financial literacy, understanding the importance of money, saving it, being open-minded when you're looking in the market. You know, if I'm buying my first time home, it's not my forever home. You know, doing your research so that you're educated when you're walking into the market are some big tips. The last thing I want to leave you here with is there's a website out there. It's downpaymentresource.com. And this slide here shows you the down payment assistance programs that are out there. This goes back into that research that we were telling you, do your research. There's over 2,000 forms of down payment assistance to affordable first mortgages, home ownership. There's 39% of programs that are on that website that are not even for first-time home buyers, they're for repeat buyers. And 75% of down payment programs are available programs that provide down payment and closing cost assistance. So downpaymentresource.com is a vital research tool to find out what are you eligible for if you're a first-time home buyer, or if you need help with down payment assistance. But that really goes into that research tool that we're talking about. Come into it eyes wide open, have money saved, do your research, be open-minded, and absolutely believe Gen Z, not only Gen Z, but a majority of people who think maybe I can never own a home. You really can. It may take a couple years to build that up, but home ownership is absolutely a possibility. All right, that ends episode 2. We'll end with the third episode for the May market update on mortgage rates and some information that's going on with that. All right, thanks, guys.